Hello, what is up, guys? It's Jay Cruiser here. Today we're going to be talking about Chowder the show, and we're going to be working on a theory. Yeah, so let's get right into it. Before we really get into the theory in itself, let's talk a bit about the show and and who Chowder is. The show is about it's about a cat, bear, rabbit, hippo apparently, who who wants to become a chef, and it is centered around him and him making food, and of the event mismatches that he has with his master and the friends that he has. So now that we've covered who Chowder is and what the show is like, let's talk about Gazpacho, his friend, the only friend that Chowder has. That's an adult and is basically the weirdest one that we could that any show could probably put. Let's go back a bit. All right, so this is Gazpacho. As you can see here, we can see a picture of him and how he apparently he's 49 years old and is a food vendor. So Gazpacho is basically the friend and the voice of reasoning within Chowder, if you might say, and he's the character who basically references mother a lot. He is depressed. He's trying to improve his life, but he has an overbearing mother. He You can see here there's a relationship with his mother, and there's a quote right here. Let me just say it. And if I wanted someone telling me everything I do is wrong, I could go home and to mother. So she is a controlling bitch. Is the topic about his mother. So why does Gazpacho talk about his mother all the time? So as we talk here, this is basically what she is a control freak that basically tells Gazpacho not to do anything. And that's why Gazpacho kind of depends on his mother for advice on everything. Alright, why does Gazpacho pretend to be his mother in the episode The Spookiest House in Marzipan? So before I really talk about this episode, let's actually watch the scene where Chowder, when Chowder first meets Gazpacho in this form. Let me see.
May I please have another piece?
Oh, yes, dear. Let me get it for you.
You know, Miss G, for a minute there, I thought you were gonna hack us all into little pieces.
Oh, that's after coffee. Now eat up. Whoa, 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 whoa. Now that was scary.
So as we see here, we see Gazpacho in a new light, and how he's pretend to be his mother, and which is something different that we haven't really seen in the show. This is probably the darker side of the show Chowder, and I didn't get to show it, but he's talking to himself, and he's if you ever seen the show the movie Cycle, or there's actually a show about it, but we get to see that the main character has a double personality, one being the mother and one being the son, and this kind of reference that, and we get to see that he's crazy. Gazpacho is in fact crazy. So the next question is, how does this connect to the last episode of season 3? It's the 9th episode. So let's go and see that right now. Alright, so this is the episode right here. Let me see. So before I really get into the episode, let's actually watch the part.
Make those ninjas pay for taking you. Oh. Hey, by the way, have you seen my blankie?
Oops, wait, I need to go back here.
Mother! Mother! You're alive! You're alive! life. I'm so...
So as we see here, we get to see that, let me actually go back a bit because I want to show you guys something. Alright, right here. So as we see here, we see that this is the first time we've ever actually seen Gazpacho's mother, and there's a bunch of flies, and it seems to smell nasty, and we get this when we see her fur. It's all green, it's all nasty, and so when I first started, I thought of this episode, I had an idea that maybe she is dead. Why do I say this? Because, well, the thing that I've always found weird is that why are there flies around here? Of course, it could reference that maybe she's ugly, maybe she smells bad, but I don't think so. I think that her skin is probably molten, it's probably falling off, it's decaying. She's probably as we heard earlier, we hear like a rumbling sound. Maybe she's already bloated. She's in the third stage of decomposition. And I don't know about the friend. Maybe she's just crazy too, or he also seems to be shocked as well. And which is also ironic as we see here, "Mother, you're alive." So how does this connect? How does episode 9, the last episode, connect to this one right here? So I did some research on the decomposition of the human body. Well, actually, of any body. And I learned that the third stage of decomposition is it takes about it's during the time where flies would appear and maggots, which is something interesting because as we see here, we also see flies, and which could reference the fact that she's dead, and it takes about 6 days. Which is important. 6 days is an important thing to remember. It takes about 67 days to something to get to this point, which is something to remember because if we count all these episodes as one day, and we go back by six days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's right here. This is the episode, the same episode where basically Chowder first finds out that Gazpacho is his own mother. So maybe Gazpacho was tired. Maybe he was finished being depressed. Maybe the only way that he was able to get rid of his depression was by killing his mother, and by doing so, he did this on the last day, on the day where he basically, his insanity broke and he killed his mother and he became her. Now there is something that sort of brings this all the way down and destroys it, and that is what Gazpacho says right here. Let's see what he says right here.
It wasn't real. Or was it? It wasn't. But maybe it was. Nah.
So right here we get to Gazpacho talking about that story being real, but the thing is that Gazpacho is the one that's saying this. This isn't anybody else. This isn't like a Chowder making up a story. He's the one telling it, and he's saying maybe it is, maybe it isn't true, and which is something that always caught me off guard. Maybe he is telling the truth. He's lying about it, but maybe he is. And this is the way that he does it. So yeah, tell me what you guys think about this. And this is the theory that it's kind of been on my mind for a while now, and that this is something that could be so. This is a child show, and that maybe shows about a lunatic that kills his own mother. So yeah, this is Jay Cruiser here, and I hope you guys liked the video.